That's what you get. Actually, this is a good time to give you a little note about Captured Aural Phantasy Theater. The capture of Captured Aural Phantasy Theater is the fact that everything that we're doing and everything that we show and all of the audio and everything is all found art objects. Stolen. Captured, not stolen. Objects in pieces that...
Intellectual property!
Our intellectual property that we present to you for your enjoyment this evening. So, anyway, that's how it captured the Aural Phantasy Theater.
Where's the oral part?
So now,
A-U-R.
Yes, A-U-R. Thank you.
Where's the fantasy?
So you guys having a good time tonight? You like it? Excellent.
We're almost done.
Yeah, we have our last script for the evening is coming up right now. In about a second, and then we'll show, if you would like, some 15 minutes more of dessert film. But before, just in case you all pile out of here after the script, I have a sign-in sheet right here. All those of you who want to know everything that's going on in the wonderful world of Captured Aural Phantasy Theater and Park Avenue Produce, and probably the new Center for Pataphysics. Please, I encourage you to sign up on our
what is pataphysics, man?
What is pataphysics?
Actually, we should really have a little lecture by the director of pataphysics himself, but not right now. We'll give him a little time to collect his thoughts, and then we'll definitely drag him out.
We gotta drag him out.
No, we absolutely will. All right.
Isn't that the science of ducks?
After the Second World War and the advent of the atomic bomb, America was swept by a renewed interest in science, along with a growing fascination with flying saucers and the prospect of creatures from other planets. Hollywood's production of science-fiction movies reached an all-time high in the 50s, and the number of science-fiction pulp magazines increased. EC introduced Weird Science and Weird Fantasy in 1950. Despite their vaguely schlocky titles, both offered fairly sophisticated stories and shied away from zap guns, space wars, and similar juvenilia. So welcome to our Park Avenue Produce players. Welcome our Park Avenue Produce players back to the stage to prepare for a little experiment in the science of animal husbandry in tonight's Captured Aural Phantasy Theater finale.
Weird Science Fantasy number 27, copyright 1955. Vida Orkney watched her fiancé pace the floor of his solar apartment like a caged lion. And he was like a lion in so many ways. He had lion-like courage, a thick mane of sandy hair, a lithe, powerful body. He was indeed a king of men, at least in Vida's adoring eyes. And like a lion among men, J. Ellison had won himself a secure niche in his 25th century society. A good job, prestige, honor, important friends, all the good things in life. Yet Vida had been aware of something eating at Jay's soul lately. Something that made him jumpy, on edge, even furtive at times.
Like a lion.
He had called her to his rooms urgently with a quiver in his usually strong masculine voice. His face was so pale now, so haggard, almost frightened. Finally, he turned his hollow eyes to her, speaking in a sort of quivering panic, as if completely unnerved by what he had to say.
Vida, I don't know how to say this, but, well, I'm breaking our engagement.
Jay!
I can't marry you.
No! You're joking!
I'm not joking, Vida. I mean it. It's not another woman. Don't get me wrong, I still love you. And I love you forever. It's just that I'm not worthy of you.
Not worthy? You! Jay, of all the ridiculous reasons! Why, of all the men I ever met, none was ever the man that you are. A fighter, a crusader, a champion, cliche or not, a man's man.
You don't know how utterly wrong you are, Vida. I'm not the man you think I am at all. Not at all!
Jay's voice trailed away. He strode out into the balcony of his solar apartment and looked up into the stars, as if longing to be among them.
Please leave, Vida. Now! I can't explain, but we must never see each other again. Never.
The cold brutality of this final statement of his tone sent Vida stumbling out to the alloy streets, more bewildered than hurt.
Not the man I thought he was? Why did he say that? From the start I knew him to be a man of courage, bravery, all the manly things from the very first day.
Vida's thoughts probed the past, back to that day 3 months ago when Jay and she first met. It had been a moment of danger as her jetmobile careened out of control! Look out! Good Lord! Other men had scattered, thinking selfishly of their own lives. It had been Jay passing by who leaped to her side and pulled her away, scarcely in time. As he held her and comforted her, she cried. She felt his strength and the warmth of him.
What a brave thing to do, risking your life to save mine.
I'd like to be braver yet. I'd like to have the courage to ask you to dine with me tonight. I'm lonely. And, well, would you?
And so they met, and she began to know Jay. Not just his physical courage, but the harder kind. His moral bravery came forth in the following weeks, like that night. Out of our way, you filthy Martian beggar!
Hold it, friend. Let the poor fellow alone. He's done nothing to you.
They come upon a bully mistreating a Martian immigrant. The bully had turned to Jay, savagely lashing out.
Why, you Martian lover! Sticking up for the scum of space! I'll show you!
You're the scum, you intolerant fool! Fool!
The
The bully had slunk away, and Vida had been so proud of her Jay. Her admiration had grown as more and more he showed his contempt for the prevailing code of human scorn, the intolerance and persecution of anything subhuman.
Ooh, what do you think, Jay? Do you like it?
It's very becoming, Vida.
She'd taken Jay along on a shopping jaunt for a new jumper. And a Ganymedean woman had entered the store.
Excuse me, please. How dare you come into my shop? Get out.
I'd like to buy
You buy nothing. Do you think I would let my customers try on clothes that had touched your disgustingly hairy body?
I'm sorry.
The store proprietress returned, smiling from her encounter with the Ganymedean. But Jay's face turned purple with rage.
I think I'll take this.
You take nothing, Vida! Get that rag off right away!
I don't understand.
Don't you? Well, neither does the Ganymedean. I'm sure her disgustingly hairy body, as you put it, is a lot cleaner than some of the women who come in here and try on your clothes.
Why? I never.
That's right, you bigot! You'll never see me again.
These incidents had made Vida love Jay more and more. He was a man she could look up to as a defender of the dignity of all men, of all worlds. And she remembered now as she walked in the star-studded night, he had reacted when she'd set the convention aside and proposed.
Marry me, Jay, darling. I love you so.
But I'm not worthy of you, Vida.
He had first said it then, she remembered now, foolishly, humbly, with the humility that only the truly strong dared show. But she'd laughed away his protest. And now tonight, breaking their engagement, shattering her universe, Vida's thoughts were suddenly jarred back to the world around her as she reached the telesquare.
And now, from the Capitol, a special broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, General Frederick Miller of the Earth Bureau of Investigation.
What's this?
General Frederick Miller's stern face appeared on the huge public telescreen.
It is with deep concern that we announce to the peoples of Earth that the Ganymede apes have been passing into the human race. The EBI has uncovered Ganymedes with their hairy fur removed, posing as Earth humans and holding down responsible positions. The Ganymedes are quite human-like biologically. Offspring born of Ganymedes and humans are perfectly normal. However, the hairy fur cover of a Ganymede is a dominant characteristic. If we were to allow Ganymedes to pass into our society, the smooth-skinned human race would vanish as a race. I want to alert all Earth humans to this outrage. We must stop this secret mingling. We must expose and deport them all. We must preserve the purity of the human race. These Ganymedes are nothing but apes!
Listening, Vida burned with outrage and shame at this patriotic prejudice that plagued her 25th century society.
Bigots!
Nothing but apes!
Intolerant idiots! It's the same old story. Witch hunts, anti-Semitism, racial intolerance, pogroms,
Nothing but apes!
political intolerance. Earth has always fallen ill with these diseases. And now this.
But they mob around Vida like the majority of Earth, yelled in fierce righteous wrath, and Vida sickened. Every one of them would take him out and lynch him!
Nothing but apes!
We now take to the EBI offices in New Denver, where Professor J.W. Engelman has just been arrested.
The telescreen blacked out, and then a picture of an old man appeared before the EBI judge and came into focus.
Yes, I am a Ganymede, sir. But what harm have I done? As Professor Engelman, I I invented and patented 87 inventions used widely in atomic medicine. I took no royalties, donating them free to your world. On what charge do you deport me?
You are an ape!
Nothing but apes!
With no human status!
Vida turned around with tear-filled eyes.
What else could they do? It was the only way. Only second-rate jobs were open to them. They were originally imported as cheap labor. Underpaid, miserable, restricted to the poorest housing areas. How else could they ever better themselves than by trying to pass into human society?
Vida was running, suddenly running back to Jay.
Someone has to stop this madness. This is Jay's kind of fight. He's got to organize a crusade to stop the shameful, shameful disgrace.
She was in his solar apartment then, and he turned to her from his telescreen, his shoulders sagging sadly.
Nothing but apes!
You heard? You saw? Then I know you'll fight this terrible thing, Jane. I know.
No, Vida. I won't fight it. I can't. I'm licked.
Vida stared at Jay incredulously.
You? You've always been the champion of the underdog, the enemy of the prejudiced. Now you say you won't fight? Well, you're right, Jay. You're not the man I thought you were.
Vida stormed as Jay turned away, reaching.
You're not the man I thought you were at all anymore. You're a mouse.
Nothing but apes!
Not a mouse, Vida. No, not that. It's almost funny. Look.
He held up a small gleaming object.
A radium razor?
Yes, Vida. I use it. Every day. All over my body. Now you see why I can't marry you? Why I'm not the man you thought I was?
Jay! You're a Ganymede!
Yes, and now you know it better. Kanto Jal, born in Ganymede City, came to Earth 5 years ago, passed into human society 3 years ago. Yes, Vida. I'm a Ganymede ape.
Nothing but apes!
I deceived you, posed as an Earthman, stole your heart, made a fool of you. And now I'm begging your forgiveness.
Vida stood silent, while a soundless scream echoed from her eyes. Her mouth twisted as if in a sneer of loathing. Then she began to laugh.
What? What's so funny, Vida?
Oh, Jay. Us! You and me, we're so funny deceiving each other like this.
You mean, Vida, you mean you too?
Oh, yes, darling. Radium razor, assumed name, everything. I passed over a year ago.
Nothing but apes!
They came into each other's arms, then melting as one.
Oh, Vida. Vida, nothing can stop us. No matter what happens, we'll be together.
Together always. You adorable ape.
Nothing but apes!
That night, Vida packed, thrilling at the prospect of tomorrow's wedding ceremony. She shook her head at the picture on her night table.
No. Oh, no, not that. I've got to destroy that. Jay must never find out that my parents were human. He must never know that I deceived him.
And a tear of sadness rolled down her cheek as she kissed the picture.
Goodbye. Mom. Dad. I'll never stop. See you again.
concludes the live portion of this evening's festivities. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. That was captured Aural Phantasy Theater. And we have our cast for the evening before we go on to more celluloid treasures. We have Mr. William Bullion, Miss Christina Irwin, Miss Mia, Mr. Ben Ziola, Mr. Wes Bailey, Miss Salima Ali, Mr. Thomas Roche, Mr. Christopher Cavanaugh, who also directed that last piece. I think that's it. And Jerry Mahoney. We'll have shows coming up in the next few months.
Nothing but ends!
I have a really quick personal note. This might be my last show for a while because I'm going off to the Great West. And I just want to say thank you to all of my fellow actors tonight. And if you could all stick around, I have a gift for you. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful time.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Have a wonderful evening tonight. And enjoy the movies that are about to come. Thank you.
Nothing but ends.
Nothing but